the unfortunate death of Moradeun Balogun. A young and promising lady, 28 years old, Moradeun Balogun, recently lost her life owing to what has been described as dual lawlessness at two different levels. First, she was attacked by armed robbers and they stabbed her in the neck. And then second of all, allegedly, a Lagos private hospital refused to offer her treatment because a police report was not produced. Now, a lot of people on social media are saying this young lady is a victim of a dysfunctional society, you know, where people tend to break the law with ease. If I remember correctly, I think there was a discourse sometime back about hospitals actually saving lives first, you know, before anything else. Victims who are brought in with gunshot wounds or knife wounds or whatever, threatening life, you know, that could become fatal or terminal. You look at them first, try and save that life before anything. All right, but in this case, the private hospital located somewhere in Lagos, actually I think it's Bagada area of Lagos, refused, you know, to treat this young lady because there was no police report. All right, we've all seen this story. No. It's a very
pathetic.
It's sad, but my condolences to the family. It brings us back to the failure in leadership. I don't know how to start talking about this because it is hurtful, it is sad. It goes just beyond a police report. Let us tell ourselves the gospel truth in this country. Until you find yourself in the shoes of this late lady, you will not understand the pain Nigerians go through to get access to medics. Our doctors, most of our doctors and most of our hospitals have not gotten to that level of realizing that their core responsibility first is to save life. You take a pregnant woman, for instance, to a hospital, they first of all ask you to deposit 150,000. It has become commercialized. And once a system becomes commercialized, nothing works. Because everything in Nigeria has become profit-oriented. So you're talking about police report, yes, it has always been there. But I know recently, a few months back, I remember that the police actually came out and said, such persons should be treated. The government has said that. But unfortunately in this country, the laws that should be obeyed for the good of the people, nobody obeys it. The one that should not be obeyed is what people obey. So I feel bad, I feel pained because it could have been any other person, it could have been anybody else. But the truth of the matter is that the Nigerian Medical Association should be able to speak to our members.
Okay. All right. Just to push this out there before we continue this discourse. Now, the management of this hospital, you know, while reacting to the story that has gone viral on the media space, you know, they said in the first place, this victim was not a gunshot victim. We all know that. She was a stab wound victim. But the hospital stated that the victim was brought in by 4 persons and she was attended to by 2 doctors. And after assessing, you know, her wounds, they realized that she needed immediate attention of a vascular surgeon. The patient was therefore referred to the closest hospital, which is the Bagada General Hospital, and in one of the available vehicles at the spot, since the ambulance was yet to return from a medical assignment. Now they're trying to say they are not responsible, you know, for the death of this lady. But
patience. Let me use myself now as a practical example. A few years back, you know, my late wife was rushed to the hospital, and for 4 hours, not one doctor attended to her. She was sitting inside the car. All the nurses were doing was coming to take her vital signs. They said there was no bed. So you see, the excuse the hospital is giving is unacceptable. A life has been lost. Ordinarily, the government should close down that hospital. This, you see, until we begin to take decisive steps on issues in this country, nothing will move. What do they mean it's not gunshot? Somebody is injured, somebody's life is at stake, and you're giving us excuses. Please, I think this.
Mazi, let me hear your take. Calm down, sip some coffee.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Pesha, I think, Prince, you said a few months ago, I am Mazi Chinedumobia. I was a signatory during one of our town hall meetings that signed that police, the hospitals, should give prompt attention to armed robbery or whatever gunshot victims. I was among those signed it. And thank God that the Inspector General of Police then acted on it and gave instruction, and followed by the federal government. I was among those that signed these things. We are talking about that. I am a living witness. I was in last week yesterday. There was an elderly man that came with problem of post-stress cancer, and that man was sitting crying on the wheelchair, crying. I was there live. This last week, the man spent well over 3 hours crying
In pain.
in pains. Then that's a part. I am also a living witness. This loot, my brother was there. You said 4 hours. My brother was in the car. I rushed him. I personally rushed him to loot, and he spent 5 hours in the car, with my car. And they all came. This one take which one? This one do this. This one. And at the end, they said no bail. We should go to spillover. We went to if they are watching me, let them confirm what I'm saying. The spillover in loot is 50,000 naira a night. We went there, no space, and we came back. What did you say? There's nothing they can do. In the loot, nothing. Then what about the mainland general hospital? My brother was there, the same thing. So it's unfortunate. That hospital need to be closed. Don't expect. Do you expect them to say anything contrary?
I get that. Can we logically look at this issue, though? I know that everybody has had one brush or the other with these hospitals, and of course, there's no good story coming from anybody anywhere. But can we look at it logically? For instance, the hospitals you have mentioned, Lassus and Luz, are government-owned hospitals. They're not private.
Last week I was there yesterday.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, if a hospital has a capacity to cater for 500 patients at a go, and then you have in excess of that, what should the hospital do?
Now,
because I'm taking it from your point of there is no bed. If there is no bed, there is no bed. You get what I mean?
Even
so
we have
it's a failure of government.
We stood there for from I got there around 6:30. I was there standing till 10 a.m. And the assistant director
from 6:30
yes
a.m.
Okay. The assistant director of nursing, that one lady that came to address us. After addressing us, she apologized. I said, in my platform, we went there last year, July, and donated 100,000 naira for accident victims. Myself, I can bring the video. We donated. And this is a hospital, government-owned hospital. No seats. Elderly people sitting on the floor. And the nurses will come now, drive them away. We don't want people here. We don't want people here. You see the crowd. But then, you see, what are we supposed to do? Well, you also said, there's no space, bed space. People are lying down on the floor. People are lying down on the corridor, passage. No space anywhere. There's nowhere you will go in any other loot or last week and you will be admitted. Sometime this year, one of my friends, AVM, retired AVM, the daughter died in National Hospital, Abuja. You know what? The daughter was rushed there. 3 days outside, no bed space. Until a friend of his, who happens to be a consultant in that hospital, now made the arrangement to transfer her to his own private hospital. From there now, arrangement was made to provide a space in the national hospital. Unfortunately, the moment she was brought there, she died.
Wow.
It's all over. So when we talk, people should understand that we are not saying for saying sake. We are saying the reality.
Quite unfortunate, you know. May God give the family of this unfortunate girl the fortitude to bear the loss.
Amen.
I sympathize with them. The story is all the same, from west to east, from north to south. Let's look at it this way. All the hues and cries now is basically the fault of the federal government. most of these hospitals we are seeing,
No light.
they are mere consultancy farm, clinics rather. If you go there, I remember the story of a woman who gave birth to 4 children at Iju.
Atego
in her house. Before these kids could be carried to either lawsuits or something, they started dying. They managed to carry 2 of them to lawsuit. About 6 years ago, they said there was no
incubator.
Oxygen. 4 of them died like that. The woman nearly died. Look at the brain drain going on in the hospital. Hardly can you find good doctors. If you come to Ilepo Okeodo there, their general hospital, there was this lady doctor there. Her age could not be more than 23 or 25.
They call it Agege General Hospital.
Yes.
My sister was there.
Listen, sir.
Mazi, calm down. I'm sorry.
The lady doctor was eating gala, attending to people. Come and see. She was eating gala with Coke. No time to eat because she was the only one on duty that day. So there are no doctors. Where there are doctors, there are no good equipments. That is why it is always good. I've said it earlier on that if you want to be a minister for health in this country, receive all your medication here.
Be a patient first.
With your family. Register your family in the general hospital. Don't go abroad. If they have headache, they will run away. They will leave us here. They don't care about us. That is the bane of the problem we are facing now, my brothers. I don't understand. And the kind of life we are living, we are not living up to standard. The kind of food we eat, the water, the pollution here and there. That is why we are suffering all these sicknesses. I don't understand. People who are healthy do not know what God is doing for them.
So I know we cannot have good tales, to tell when it comes to healthcare in this country, because we all know our healthcare system has been in a state of rot for years. But the bulk of the blame, I do know, is at the doorstep of the federal government.
Of course.
But even at that, I think we need to look inwards as well. We the people, we have a big problem as well, if you know what I mean. Aside from equipment and facilities being made available in the hospitals, have we looked at the staff that works in this hospital? That is another thing. Well, you understand, where people are treated like their lives don't matter. You rush somebody to the hospital, rush, in a state of emergency. When you get to the hospital, nobody receives you with that kind of emergency. That is a problem we should be talking about. You understand? You work in a sector that has to do with lives, people's lives. You cannot go there absent-minded. It is a very, very sensitive place to work. It is wrong.
I saw what's going on. Patience. The attitude of the nurses.
That is what I'm talking about.
Before I went there, I told the consultant, I called him on Sunday. Look, I'm supposed to be on air somewhere, but I'm due to come for my yearly medical checkup yesterday. He said when I come, I should call him. I called him from Sunday night till 10 a.m. He didn't pick me. But when I went inside to see, when I was taken to I saw the doctor. I said, Doctor, I've been calling you. He said, Sir, I apologize. I'm sorry. That the workload here is sending me crazy.
Normal. That's what I'm saying.
Even up to 9 p.m. yesterday, they were still in hospital. Working environment is 0. Staff welfare 0. That even made the nurses to be aggressive. They don't have manner of approach. If you see how they came addressing the people that came for life saving, you talk to them as if you are not proper, you are not trained at all.
Now, patience, I think we have a problem that we all need to resolve. And that problem is the fact that most people we call nurses in Nigerian hospitals are not nurses.
They are auxiliaries.
Yes, we need to get that.
Auxiliary.
Yes. The thing is that we have not gotten to a state where a Nigerian nurse will have what they don't have dignity in labor to start with. So anytime you see a Nigerian nurse, you see frustration, you see anger, you see vexation.
We all live in the same country, don't we?
Yeah,
We go to the same market.
Now, it's not only it's
the same
the
boat.
attitude of workers is not just in the hospitals. It cuts across.
I get
Go
that.
to the airports, you will get the same treatment. Go
Very true.
to anywhere.
They are
Very
all over, all over.
Even the discos now, they are worse. You go to the discos to make a complaint, they treat you as if you're not a human being. And then it brings me back to the same question I've been asking. I've been asking people and I'm asking the government, what is the worth of a Nigerian life?
I get all what you're saying. Across board, everywhere you go, people are hostile, they're nasty. But I'm saying, you know, the ethics of your job should keep you on your toes every time. I do a job that puts me in the public eye every single day of my life. Some days I am not happy. Some days I am ill. Do you get what I'm saying? Some days I'm just frustrated and all of that. But I still come on TV with a smile on my face. People meet me on the road, even though I do not feel like smiling. Once they say, oh, hi, hello, you're there, I have to smile. What I'm saying is, I know everybody's in the same boat in this country. But when you work in certain sectors of you have to have presence of mind to know that my job demands this from me. I can't go to a hospital and stand a nurse who is rude.
No, they are rude. They are
You
rude.
understand?
Patience.
The thing that took me from my house to the
profession.
hospital, first of all, because I feel I'll get relief of some sort. So don't come at me with that because you're frustrated. It is not an excuse, is what I'm trying to
How
say.
many nurses?
It's not an excuse.
How many organizations?
We need
How many-
social re-engineering
Yes.
in this
How many
country. We do.
organizations train their workers?
That's what
and
I'm saying.
Nobody, they don't
We all
bother.
blame the government. The government have their
This is
problem.
not
We have a
government now.
problem on our own too.
Look, all these nurses we are talking about, do they have anything like, do they have
Like professional
orientation
training.
Emotional intelligence.
Like
A lot of them are auxiliary
public
nurses,
relations. I
and
don't understand.
they don't even
The
know
way
what
you
they're
relate
doing.
to public, the way you relate to the public, the way